And good evening. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we face another night of serious weather. Now, we've got our first severe thunderstorm warning of the evening. Kemper County and Noxubee County are now under severe thunderstorm warnings, and they will remain, let me click this so I can make sure I got this right, until 8:30 tonight. Now, this is a serious storm. For the rest of everybody watching, I want you to be well aware of what we've got going. This in Kemper County is beginning. We will have this rolling in to the northwest of here, somewhere around 9 o'clock. We'll start seeing Neshoba County, Newton County get flooded. Then it will make its way into Lauderdale County, southward into Clark County, and then on into Wayne County. And it's going to be another horrendous amount of rain that is on the way. Kemper County right now, let's go ahead and pull this up. I know Linda Jane is out there in this area, and we have serious wind shear going in Kemper County. 3 different areas. If you're in the York area, Livingston, Alabama area, it's bad in those areas also right now. Let's start with Kemper County. Again, this southwestern corner here of what we've got going. What we've got going on in the southwest corner of Noxubee County, there are a lot of rain, but let's go right here. Let's turn on some locations and get this a little bit fine-tuned to where you can see everything that is happening. Now, here's the cab. This is going to put us here. Here's Townsend Road. We've got storms on each side of Townsend Road with wind shears. Now, it's not so bad out here on 16 yet, but there are serious rain coming that direction. Now, we're getting 58-mile-an-hour shear winds just to the east of right there at Townsend Road. On the other side of the road, it's going to be another round of this of shear winds at 58 miles an hour, and this is that stuff that knocks down power lines. And Lord knows we don't need any more of that, but I'm afraid that we may get a taste of that before it's over. As we look at this, this is going to be coming across, and as you'll see here, this will be right in the general area of the chicken shack is where this is going. It's going to take in this would be the east side of that as we see it come across the Cowboy Church and go right towards within 30 minutes here at the Chicken Shack, reaching Highway 16 Electric Mills just below Eddie Owl's house right there in Kemper County. Now, we'll see that this will make its way on across Bach Valley. This is a serious one. Now, here's the front edge of this. It will be at Townsend in 13 minutes, Akron in 16, and Sukanachi in 22 minutes in Portable. And what it means there is the wood yard here. As it gets down here, right there is the wood yard where that used to be at the Sukanachi Bridge as you were coming in. Right up not far from where we have to keep referring to things as where they used to be, but where the roadside park is. Every Kemper County will remember that. That's what we've got going there. And this is a lot of shear winds that are coming across here. Now, as we'll see sitting here, now this is going to be right over here with Eddie and the gang. Y'all got a lot of rain coming down at Siples Mills. Now, still included in this is going to be Preston and also Linville and all of downtown DeKalb. Here's another shear wind event that we've got inside Kemper County, just outside that watch box area. Doesn't matter, does it? No. We've got 58-mile-an-hour shear winds here also. Now, that's going to be just due north of Kemper Springs Volunteer Fire Department where that's located. As we zoom in on this, let's get a little bit closer here on these roads so we can tell what's going on. All right, this is going to be Pleasant Grove Church where this is, and this will be Cullum Road. This is where that wind is just off of it. Again, 58 mile an hour. This is going to be pine trees here, and it's going to be headed in the direction of L.C. Clark Road is where that will head towards. So if you live in these general areas, heads up, get to your safe place. It is winds, and as we've seen homes destroyed today. If you saw the pictures that we posted from Russell this morning of the tree that fell on the home. I also got a report that a mobile home had major damage somewhere also. The Red Cross trying to help it. I know I had a lady that was going to send me some. Earlier today, there were some problems with Facebook sending pictures for whatever reason. But another nice lady had some problems at her house. Now, in the extreme southern portion there of Kemper County that just jumped across that state line, we want you to be well aware of what's going on here. This is going to be Lake Louise right here. This is going to be York, Alabama. If you live in York, Alabama, is pounding on y'all. Sumter County High School, y'all are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. Now, we were picking up some serious shear winds in that area a moment ago also. Still, we've got another storm that's going to be headed directly toward Lake Louise out of Kemper County, crossing through Lauderdale County. Now, Lauderdale is not included in this yet. Now, this is going to nip Lauderdale County, and I use the word nip, but it's going to move right on into Alabama. Back over in this area later on, we will see more of the weather coming into Newton County, Neshoba County, and being a little bit bigger threat to this east central area here in just a little while. Now, let's go back into Kemper County. Let me show you what the overall view of everything looks like tonight of what we've got going on. Now, all of this stuff here is back building. This is going to get stronger. That's going to come right through these areas here by 9 o'clock. About an hour and 10 minutes from now, this will be a whole different story here on radar than what we're watching. We're going to be talking with one another probably several times tonight with this weather. Let's go back in here. Now, we've got one wind shear left in Kemper County is what we're looking at. It's still holding steady at 58 miles an hour. If you were to put this on a scale of 1 to 10, it is a 3 in severity. Still strong winds with that. Now, that's going to pop limbs and take out power, and we'll look at power outages here in a moment. Let's look at our friends here in York, Alabama. Y'all are catching a lot of this also. As we dig into this and get a little bit, the city limits of York just north of you there on Highway 17, it's going to be bad all the way up here about a couple of miles out of town. This storm is cutting across and will reach York coming out of Lauderdale County and reach York within 10 minutes. Then it will move on to Bellamy, Alabama within half an hour. Here's Livingston sitting here, Highway 11 in those areas, but 17 is pretty rough as we turn this back on to look at these locations of where it is. Now, as we move up through here, here's Kim Waste that takes you into Gainesville. All of this is south of Gainesville at the moment. Now, here at Livingston, this is going to be one of those aerial flood warnings right here. Those areas had a lot of rain. Now, we're getting rain now at Ralph's house, Lauderdale, Mississippi, at the Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena. A lot of rain there coming in on the north end of Dalewood now. You don't have the rain activity that's going on in York and as you make your way toward Livingston. But look at this. Now, this is going to cut across into Lauderdale County. We got some more winds in Kemper that's coming toward Lauderdale. Pay attention. This is going to reach Dove as it comes out of Kemper County and hit. Dove is right here across the state line. What this will do is cross York Road. And as you'll see, this will just skimmy right in front of here. This is going to come up on the other side of the Dollar General there in Lauderdale. That's what that's going to do, this storm, as it spreads out. That's a 1 mile fan as it goes toward that area there. So we've got several areas in northeastern Lauderdale County that are not under a warning at this point, but heavy, heavy rain in those areas there. Let's see here. I want to check my messages, make sure I haven't missed anything for anybody. All right, nothing there. All right, let's go back here and look at this, what we've got in Kemper again, as we see that these shear winds, 2 of these. This one is clocking at 58. This one also at 58. Both of these are right around a 3 on that scale of 1 to 10. That's where we put these. Following basically the same path. This is going to be in the same area as Kemper Springs. If you live in that area, these roads that I mentioned just a moment ago, heads up, get to your safe place now. We're seeing that we've got heavy, heavy rain in downtown Scooba now. This is going to go all the way back just past Highway 397 on 16 as you go to Kemper Lake. And then I've always called that the Louisville Road if you're in DeKalb. You take that, and that's where you'll be. As we go into northern Kemper County, as we see here, all of this area here in Wahalek at the railroad tracks, underwater, water coming down heavy. And we see that Bentonville not quite in the watch box, but you're going to have some rain come across there. As we'll see that Macon right now, no rain to speak of, light stuff. You'll start picking up as you get to Sugarlock Lumber by the time that you get right here at the railroad tracks. You'll see it there where the pig used to be and where Dollar General is. A lot of rain begins, and the heavier it gets all the way into town. South of 14, if you're traveling 14 in between Macon and Louisville, all of this area as you get down here to the Nanawaia pit stop, a lot of rain there. All right, we've got another shear wind factor that's picked back up right around here at Townsend Road. Let's go here and look at this. And we're going to look back over here at Newton. I know I'm getting some questions about it, and we're starting to see a little bit. Hey there, Mandy Haley. West Waholic, you're right, West Waholic. Said that kind of wrong, didn't I? We've got 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with this also. Now, if you were to do the mathematics on this, this is going to be somewhere right across from East Mississippi Sportsman Association. About right here, if you're looking at this, this would be where the roadside park used to be, again, here on Highway 16, where we used to have that one. East Mississippi Sportsman sits there. And right about along in here is where Yates Landfill is. As you get closer into Scuba, here's the junior college, and about right here will sit where the rodeo arena is. The old dump used to be about right here on 16. All of that area, of course, the pond right up in here down from Ken's house. It's a lot of rain in those areas also. As we come down, this is no different. We've got a ton of water coming down in this end right there at the edge of this. And this is going to reach Tomola within 19 minutes, and Edendale. This is going to cross Edendale, that two-mile bottom area, before long. I keep watching this. All right, let's back out. We're keeping an eye on Kemper County. Again, this is until 8:30, so you've got, 37 more minutes remaining on this, and we're watching it closely. Starting to get that rain in Giles out in that area. Oh, West Waholic getting it, isn't it, Mandy? Coming down heavy. All right, as we're starting to get questions about Newton County, as we look at the Philadelphia area, all of this, let's back out and look what we've got. Coming out of Edinburgh at this point. Now, this is going to be over in Leake County. As we mentioned, storms building. As these come, these are going to get big. Let me say it that way. They're going to be big tonight. As we see this will cross the Good Hope community and will come right across the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. So if you're at the fairgrounds tonight, been working on your cabin, you're getting ready to get a good little thunderstorm as it comes off of 16 and comes in this direction across here. Now, this will reach Dixon. This will come right on across here at Neshoba Baptist. And then making its way, if you'll see the storm, it will head right in the direction there and make Talbot Enterprises before long. So a lot to pay attention to here. Now, this is not as bad as it's going to get. This is mild compared to what is coming in the next little bit, if it stays on track with what the National Weather Service has been predicting and what the future scans tell us of what will be happening there. Minnie, how are you? Good to see you there. Erica Kilgore joins us there. Newton. All right, as we look at Newton, right now, not much happening. To your west here, northwest here, coming out of Carthage, is what's going to be affecting Newton. And you will get heavy rain in the next little bit. There's no threat now for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Again, we're going to put this a little after 9 o'clock before all of this stuff really gets kind of bad and reaches Philadelphia and Newton areas. And then this is going to fan out and cover all of these areas here and make its way through Meridian, down through the Quitman area, and then on towards Stonewall in this area, and finally making its way out of the area probably a little after 11 as we put the pen and paper to this. Now, let me go back and let me go over here and find, we need to look at what we're doing on power outages at this point. We have had power outage after power outage today, and we want to look at what we've got now at this point. Let's look at the state first. Everybody okay with that? I got to go back. I got to get my buttons closer together, don't I? I move too much around. As we pull up what's happening statewide, Mississippi now still at 96,000 people without power. Quarter-size hail coming down in Dixon as Sandra passes that along to us. All right, Alabama has 11,000 so far, and then 185,000 in Texas, Louisiana 150. These three states have taken a lot. And if you'll look at the size of Texas, 185 compared to roughly 100,000 in Mississippi. It tells us Mississippi has really been taking a whooping. Texas is humongous. And let's do the breakdown as we go into Mississippi of what we've got. See where you live, who's hit the hardest there. As we look at Noxubee County, y'all are all good with all power. Kemper County still sitting at 241. As we come down, Lauderdale County about 900. Now that's dropped from roughly 10,000 earlier. If you were to add all that together, we're down to about 844 people. Not so great if you're one of the 844, is it? No, it's not. We'll talk about generators and how important it is to get one of those. Trust me on this, it's worth that little extra money. Generac, we got several folks that sell those. It's a good thing to have. As we look at Clark County, 136 without power, and we get into Wayne County, about 1,500. We'll round that off. Jones County still at 1,400. Smith County, our neighbors there, at 1,600. Jasper County, a whopping 2,400 people still without power. And, of course, a lot of that is due to the reason of it being the rural route. Hard to get to some of these places. 1,500 in Newton County without power. Scott County, wow. 4,600 still without power there. And as you get into Leake, only 235. But we look at Rankin County, still 10,000 people, 9,500. We'll round that. Now let's go a little closer to home and take a sneak peek at what they're telling us here. 300 people left on EMEPA, and that is great. I mean, their numbers were huge, as Julie's been keeping us updated today with what's been going on with that power. Again, it started out right at 10,000 at total, and then has been slowly getting everything back. The guys, if you see these, they've been working extra hard, these linemen. They're tired. They work hard. As Kimberly tells us, City of Decatur, no power right now. It'd be nice to have it, wouldn't it? It's coming slowly but surely. Power has been out in Madison since 5 a.m., Barbara says. Whew. We'll look at Madison on the map here also here in a moment. Kathy, how are you doing? Glad to see you joining us there. As we mentioned, the hail there in Dixon. Raining hard in Neshoba County, Mimi says. I'm just glancing up here. Tumsub and Kiwani, that will fall probably after 10 o'clock before it reaches you tonight. We got another question about Philadelphia. Look for that 9:15, 9:15, 9:30 at the latest if it all stays on track of what we've got going on. Now let's go back to radar and look and see what is updated and what we've got that's been going on with that since we last talked. Let's pull that up. And here's our radar. As we go back up here, the big picture of what you see. Now, let's look over here to our west coming out of, this is going to be due south. This is going to be right around Highway 491. Here's the Dollar General, Ford Store, Highway 16 there. Storms on this west side. We've got some wind developing right there at the Kemper County line. Let's get in here closer and see what we've got. This is Highway 491 right there. And this is most likely going to be Old Jackson Road, if I can zoom in. Yep, just north of Old Jackson Road. Here's Highway 495, sheer wind starting to move across there. And those coming in just less than 58 miles an hour, moving in at 50, you round it, it's 58 miles an hour is what we've got with that. Down a scale, it's down a degree on that scale of 1 to 10, it's sitting at a 2 of severity as we look at that. But that's still some wind. This can take out power. This can break trees. Now, if you were watching me anywhere in this area here in Kemper County on the west side, if you have a tree anywhere near over your home, get out of that room now and stay away from it. This can cause major damage to you, and we don't want you to hurt. If you'll go back and look at those pictures that I brought up from Russell this morning, that's 100% why you don't want to be underneath a tree when it falls. Now, as we glance across Kemper County, a lot of rain. The intensity starting to break up a little bit as we get this coming toward Edendale. Now, again, we've got this severe thunderstorm warning for 30 more minutes as we glance at all of this. Now, we move right across here, this Cuba, Alabama line. And we get into these areas just due east of York, Alabama. Here's Livingston here. Here's York, Alabama. Lake Louise as it comes across Highway 80 if you're headed toward Demopolis. Look at that rain that's in there. That's going to be reaching Bellamy within 7 minutes, Moscow in 22 minutes, and then Saltwell within about half an hour roughly there in that direction there. Here's Demopolis, the river. This will cross the river and be south of Demopolis there in a little bit. Now, we've had a couple questions about what's going back over here. As we mentioned, Madison, Mississippi, and those areas without power since 5 a.m. this morning. Jackson at this point in time looks good. But as we glance at all of this, you see all of this on the radar. This tells us we had issues there a little bit earlier. As we glance at this just north of Jackson, wind damage. As we look at this earlier today, trees downed on Pascagoula Street. I think that's downtown Jackson, if I remember correctly. As we get out here north of Pearl and northeast of Flowood, we had measured, see, that's some hail there. Now, let me go back and find this. I had this sent to me just a little bit ago. Caledonia, Mississippi. Let me find here. Let's go to the page and let's just kind of scroll down together because I want to show this picture of what we've had going on here with this weather. As we pull this up, we've had some accidents. Of course, we're under the thunderstorm watch tonight. Accidents. Murder suspect has been arrested. We'll talk about that in a little bit when we get a break. We're going down. Our guys there are working hard. I don't want to make you dizzy as we scroll down for this particular picture that I'm looking for, but I've got it here in just a moment. Well, just hang on there. I think I need to refresh that. I won't make you dizzy and suffer through that one more time, but let me refresh that and find this. Here it is. This is what I wanted to show. It wasn't very far at all to begin with. I just hadn't refreshed that. This is Caledonia. Do y'all see how big this is? Look at that. That will knock you out if you get hit in the head with something like that. What is that, 4 to 5 inches? I'm going to guess that. That's big. I do appreciate that being sent in to us. If you got pictures like that, any damage, we'd love to hear from you as well. But this is what could happen. Major damage to cars. And again, this is nothing that you want to walk outside and be hit with, without a doubt. We've just had so many storm damage through the area. And again, as we talk about the guys that go out and do this, here's a prime example. I want you to get a good look at this. That's absolutely hard work of what these guys do. And they do it in the rain, the wind, and so many different things. I have 110% respect for y'all. I couldn't do your job. Let me put it that way. Now let's go back over to radar and take a look at what else we've got going on here. Picking up hail in Lauderdale County now. Pretty major hailstorm as we look at this. This is going to be on the other side of the lake past Dalewood as we see this hailstorm reaching York within 16 minutes. Heads up for y'all. Intercourse, Alabama, you'll get it soon. Let's zoom in on this. Look at the roads of where it is right now. This is going to be on Luther Cobb Road is where this is sitting at. And this will go straight in to Alabama is where that is headed. Of course, right there is Morning Star Cemetery. From right there at Luther Cobb Road as it forks off there from Oxford Road in that area. Here's Luther Cobb cutting across into Alabama. A lot of hail in there. Now let's turn on our hail feature. Go to severe here and go down and turn on the hail feature and just show you. Look at that. So Kemper County, due south there as we looked at this 2 mile bottom. Look how heavy that was. We had some come through the cab, but boy, when he got right there, he got ferocious. And it gets even worse as we get over here just north of York, Alabama. Look at the amount of hail. When that turns black on that screen, it has dumped some. Now, I have no way of knowing with this just how bad that is of diameter. I have to rely on y'all as y'all send in reports to us. Randy Rigdon, how you doing? Columbus, 4-inch, lots of vehicles damaged. 4-inch hail in Columbus. Randy, that's serious. Wind is terrible on Minnebucket Road. No power in Lauderdale now. It's shaking that loose. Morgan, how are you? Strong winds at Dalewood. Power just went off. Power starting to flicker in Scuba as well. Kelvin, how are you doing? Hope everything's well. Y'all be careful there in Scuba. As we go down Sebastopol area, they're starting to hear a little thunder. Everybody's sick of the no power thing. I agree with you 100%. All right, we're back. We had, for whatever reason, a little flaw there for a moment. So we're back up and signal should be strong once again. But rain on that every day. All right, let's look at this shear wind, and we'll cut back to this. We got higher winds now in Lauderdale County. We're clocking 70-mile-an-hour shear winds. And again, shear winds, it doesn't mean it's on the ground, but it does tell us that it is bad and most likely doing some form of damage, whether it's breaking off limbs or whatnot. Let's zoom in on this and look at this, where this is. Here's Luther Cobb Road as we go due south of there. Payne Cemetery. Do you live near that? This is going to be Everett, Mosley Road, and in between Raymond Cobb Road. That area there, y'all need to seek shelter now. I don't care that it's not a thunderstorm, a tornado warning. That's a lot of serious wind if you live here in this area. Eastern Lauderdale County, east of Dalewood. It's enough to make me go to my place, and I highly suggest it if you live there. Again, another storm cell there, right moving in toward York, Alabama. It's going to be heading there. If you're working at McElroy Trucking, y'all heads up. It's going to be there in probably about 7 minutes at McElroy Trucking. 7 to 8 minutes is what we'll put on that, so be careful there. Another round of heavy storms moving through there. Now let's back out and look at Lauderdale County. Here's we have a storm sitting just north of West Lauderdale School. Now, this is going to come across, be at Shucktown within 7 minutes, reach Center Hill within 9 minutes, in the Obadiah area by 14 minutes, and then on into Bailey Post Office area within the next 18 minutes as we look at that. Again, hail in those areas. Tons of rain here north. This is going to be 495 right up through there. This is 493. West Lauderdale Elementary getting a lot of rain at the moment. Now, downtown Meridian is good at the moment. We're starting to see showers move into the Noxubee area also. A lot of rain with that. Let's go back and turn off the hail feature. And we'll go back to our northwest there, to our counties that are right over here. Let's go back into, it's picking up with intensity. All right, Noxubee County. Again, we don't have a warning for you, but it's bad. Let's follow Highway 16 where this rain just past Pearl River Resort gets heavy. By the time you reach Marshall Ford and you get here to Lowe's and Williams Brothers, look at the rain there. Here sits the hospital right at the four-way stop. We've got all types of showers. And if you would just go due south of there as we back out and we come down through here, this is going to be County Road 505 is what this is. I had to stare at that just a little bit. And this is going to come across. Here's the airport out here. This is going to come across 19 in that area. And, of course, this is where the auction takes place right in here. This is just barely on the outskirts of Philadelphia coming in. We got a little storm there making its way downtown Philadelphia there at the police station, all West Beacon Street, all those areas. Highway 19 out of town rain. And it's making its way there toward around the Coliseum. It's not there right now, and this is moving away, but right there at it's where you're going to start picking up on that. Here at the airstrip and the northern portion, we got some pretty heavy rain there. Now, out on 486, which is 491 on the south end of this, we got a storm following right along on that. It will be at Damascus in 19 minutes. Kemper County heads up, another storm coming your direction. Let's turn those off as we look at this. Now, we come down Highway 15, north of Union. It's going to get very heavy, and we got a storm sitting right there at Noxubee Baptist. That's going to move south of House as it cuts across the county there and make its way to Herbert Springs within a half an hour. Herbert Springs sitting right there is where that is. Now, our friends in Newton, nothing happening around the city of Newton, Decatur at this point. Some light showers moving in to Decatur now, but we go up here to this northwest corner. You go north of Conahatta. You follow this right up through here on Highway 492 is where we find a storm that will make its way toward Union. Y'all be ready on this. 15 minutes, you'll get to a little taste of a storm, and then that's going to come right over here to the Little Rock Post Office in that area. Now, nothing happening there right now. South of Newton, as y'all can see, is all clear. Jasper County, y'all look good now. All of this area here will be after 10 o'clock is what we're banking on. Time's clicking. It's already 10 minutes after that. All right, as we go back, let's look at some of these comments. I don't want to miss anything that people are passing on to us. Very nasty in Demopolis, Gina says. I'll be careful there also. Dewana, very bad rain in Noxubee. Severe wind on Highway 495 near Old Jackson Road there. Jim, that's right. We all need prayers, don't we? Let's go down. Let's see here. The wind is terrible, Tansy says. Lots of power outages there. Wind is terrible at Dalewood. Turned black, Melissa Ann says there on King Road. Enterprise, you're good for now. It's going to be quite, it will be after 10 o'clock most likely unless the storm speeds up. And I've had that happen. I've given a a note of I'll think it'll be here then, and then Mother Nature takes over, and then sometimes it slows down. But we're guessing 10:30-ish. We'll check on it here in a little bit. All right, Sean, the signal should be back strong. It done a blink there with the weather of that. And again, if I go off, it will take just a second to be able to go over and hook our backup internet service so that this will work. Joyce, winds are getting worse there in Marion. Kathy, I appreciate that so much there. Blinking at Dogwood Lake Road. That's not far. I know exactly where you are, Vicky. Bird Donor is getting hit hard with rain and heavy wind right now, Kristen says. Russell, that's going to be here in a little bit. As we see here, here's Russell here. Is Russell Christian Academy right there. The rain is just north of you. Thundering and 0. Wind cutting up in Marion 496, Linton Road getting heavy rain. Zero area getting a lot of lightning. Wind out in Martin, showing out in Martin, rather, Rick says. 496 flickering. Causeyville getting a lot of thunder. As I look out my window behind me there, it's just rain pouring down the window. It's been cutting up lights out in Russell, Cynthia tells us. How are you, Cynthia? I hope you're doing well. Bree says rolling into Decatur now. Power out on Highway 495. Trees down as well. I'll see what they tell us on my report up there. What else? High winds in Russell. House community. At this point, as we look at all of this, here, right there is House. Got rain just across the road from it. It hadn't quite made it to House yet, but it is a-coming, as they say. All right. Let me do this and then go back here. Anita, how are you doing there? Sugarlock, Mississippi. A lot of people watching from those areas. Poplar Springs Drive, extreme wind and hard rain, raining in Tumsuba. I was making sure I didn't skip anything. Chamberville, picking up in rain. Donis, how are you doing there? Well, let's go back and focus a little bit of what we've got. We got some more shear winds as this is developing and coming through this area. Wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. Let's go right here. We got a storm that is going to cut right across where the softball complex there, Northeast Park is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth there on Highway 39 by Northeast Middle School and where Barham Funeral Home is in that area. It will reach Tumsuba in 28 minutes. Let's look at this wind that we've got right here. This is clocking at 69 miles an hour. This is going to be south of Tumsuba. Let's look at our roads here. All right, this is Shelby Gresset Road here, and this is going to be the KOA campground. KOA campground. I've been tongue-tied for the last couple of days. This is where that is. KOA campground road. Sheer winds if you're in that area, and maybe you live here on Sam Hurt Road. If you live in between these, be ready for some serious wind to roll through your area as well. Here's Highway 496. We've got a storm that's going to be reaching it within a half an hour. This is our concern right there. Shelby Gresset Road, Sam Hurt, y'all pay attention in that area. Now, right over Tom Bailey Lake now, it's flooding, and that's going to continue. That's probably about a 2-mile wide radius there. A lot of rain. And this is Alamooch here at the Volunteer Fire Department. All of this is due north of there off of 496. As you get into I-20, these areas still raining there at Dalewood. Now, Lauderdale downtown at the Sefco at Ralph's house, a little bit calmer. As we look back over here in this West Lauderdale area, here's going to be Oak Tibby. This is going to be Highway 495 right there. This is the country store that you follow on Pine Springs. As you follow Pine Springs out, look at this rain that you'll get into. Right there where you turn onto Windsor Road, where that split is, and then where you get right here to Barn Hill Road. And then this will go back over here to 493 coming out of town. So if you live in any of that area, cautious. This is going to be Brown Hook. As we get in here, this is going to be Ernest White Road, raining heavy. Donovan, if you're watching down here on this end of Fellowship Road, heavy. Amanda, that area. Y'all got some serious weather on you at this point. Now, as we come off of 493, again, this is what I was talking about, this storm that will cut across Highway 39 and make its way out to Russell. Now, there sits the railroad tracks and the Baptist Church sitting there with Russell Christian Academy. We've got rains there at Meridian High School as well. Now, what have we got going on? Let's just check our warnings. At this point, we've got good news on all of this. All the warnings at this point on the Mississippi side have expired. Now, this is going to build. You're going to see me again in a little bit. This is not going away. We've got power outages. We're going to check power outages before we cut, because I know I'm coming back. Get some coffee on this time. Let's look at what's going over here in Alabama. We can't leave all these folks out because it's rough in this area here. It's Cuba, Alabama. We got some shear winds just to the southeast of you. If you were to follow, let's come out and go down this road here. It's going to be County Road 10 is what this is, and this is sitting right here at McElroy at Johnson Street. We got a storm sitting there that's going to be going toward Ward and Gadsden within the next 17 minutes as it comes across there. And again, right there is Grant's Chapel. That's Zion Hill Baptist Church. Now, here's some shear winds that we're watching on 16. We got two of these on County Road 16 in Alabama. As we look at this, click back on that and get the actual wind shear, 58. And then we got another one here that's also 58. So a lot of wind cutting up on that Alabama side. We want y'all to know it. And look at the lightning we keep getting in this. It's a lot following this. Another storm there coming across. So this northern end of this has faded down, which is great. We're glad of that. We watch our Alabama sides here, and these are going to be going, how long is this one for? Until 8:45. So we got about another 20 minutes or so on these storms here. Now, we got storms developing here. Let's look at this. This is Cleveland, Mississippi, and all of this will move across. That's at Bowl, Renova, Mound Bayou, and up here Winstonville. All of these areas, that right there. Whew, heavy rain. And again, we got a severe thunderstorm there until 9 o'clock. We do expect a little bit more of this to come across our area. Calming down for a second. Let's go back here and look at Newton Union. A lot of rain there as we watch this. Now, let me do something here. I want to do another guesstimation of what I think is going to be coming here in the next little bit. All right, as we watch this, we start seeing Philadelphia on the west side, somewhere around 9:15, start to see some showers. That intensity now will drop below Neshoba County and for whatever reason really focus on Newton County is what we're seeing. All this is subject to change. As the weather and the temperatures change, so does the pattern. But I'm seeing that Scott County, Newton County, Lauderdale County, somewhere around 9:40 is what we're looking at to be pretty rough. And this will go on up toward Butler, Alabama. We're seeing some showers there in the Macon area as well as I put that into motion and I follow all this. Still at 10:30, heavy rain in Lauderdale County. And then that's about 10:15 is what I'm showing now, reaching Clark County, Jasper County in a big way, a lot of rain. And then this will exit and go down around 11 o'clock into Wayne County and then on toward the Alabama side. So we'll start seeing more. It pushed a little bit on our time frame of what we're seeing. And again, the Neshoba County at this point is looking better on things. So y'all are getting off, it looks like. Don't hold me to it, but we'll focus here in the next little bit, somewhere starting around 9:30. Roughly an hour from now, we'll most likely be together, maybe a little before, maybe a little after. But heads up all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. And this will take in all these areas. Folks watch to our west there, coming across Scott, all of that area there where the roadside parks to give you some stopping in Forest as you go to Jackson, Mississippi, as you come into Newton. McDonald's in those areas somewhere around 9:30, and that will be from city limits of Meridian, about where the airport is, back at 9:15, and then it just slowly creeps in to the Lauderdale County area, and by 10 o'clock, the entire county is covered in heavy, heavy rain in Newton, Lauderdale, and Clark County, all from Quitman in that area. And the further it goes into that 10 o'clock hour, all of this will shift into Clark County and just overwhelm it, and Jasper County as well. So you don't need to go to bed early if you live in Jasper or in Clark counties tonight. Give it just a little bit. Now let's go back now and go over and pull up and look at our outages. I want to refresh this and see what we've got changed in the area. Let's pull this up where you can see. We now have about roughly 1,400. We were down to, what was that, 300 the last time we looked at this with the MEPA. Let's go in here and pull this up where you can see. This right in here, this is what we were looking at where we had those shear winds a while ago as it tracked there across Lauderdale on that backside over here. That's taken out power. As a matter of fact, 711 of you have lost power with those winds that come across there. We showed that in the Russell area, it took out about 340. Toomsuba, about 13. 41 as we get over in this area. Let me zoom up on here. This is going to be Collinsville area. 40, 43-ish, 41, 43, if you count all these in those areas. As we come back over here west, right in that area there, we got about 20 just off of Highway 19 to the west of there. As we look south, we got about 30 people. Fallsburg, one that could have been a lot worse, but hard hit in the Lauderdale area with what we just had happen to Cab, still running about 50 people without power. Now let me pull here and let's refresh this. All right, Lauderdale has jumped to 1,600 total, and that includes Mississippi Power in there without power. Kemper County about 300, Neshoba County still at 366, Leake County 200, still Scott County 4,600, and Clark County at 117, 1,500 in Wayne County. Total wide, we're down. It come down a little bit. A while ago we were, at 96? They've gotten 4,000 people back on since we last talked. Would have been more, but we lost some more in Lauderdale County. Now, before we sign off here for the next few minutes, let's just make sure nothing new has happened. We do have something new. Another warning has come out. Let's get into this. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30, and this is going to be Lauderdale County and also Newton County as we watch those storms. This just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Storms and more storms. It just keeps happening. Now, again, this is until 9:30. Little Rock, you're going to have a storm within 7 minutes. Duffy, you'll get the storm in 20 minutes, and then on into Chambersville by 28 minutes. As we see here, Duffy, 21 minutes from now. This is northern Newton County, what we're looking at. Here's Union. Our lines will start there at Union, come due south of Decatur and cut across, miss Newton and take in Hickory down to the bottom of the county line and go back up. Let's turn on our locations where you'll see where you live. Our line comes across here at Turkey Creek, right at Lazy Boy, and right there at the doorsteps of the Veterans Cemetery. Comes across Stuckey's Bridge, Clarkdale Superette, goes over to the Girl Scouts, goes up to Russell Christian Academy, taking in Rainbow Lakes, and then shooting back across Highway 39, Highway 45 there at the soccer complex, somewhere close right around Briarwood Road, where the red light is on 39 if you're going toward the naval bases where that will be. We come up, and this is going to take in, come right across the middle of Oak Tibby, right through there, taking in Collinsville, and then straight to Battlefield to Union. 9:30 is what we've got on that. Again, we've got a lot of wind still happening over here, 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with that. We've got 2 storms that are coming out of Newton that are going to be coming into Lauderdale County, which probably prompted all of this. I've been having some of these from East Texas pictures sent to us, and huge hail that came through Texas. All right, let me see what the National Weather Service is telling me over here. Let me glance here of what, let's see, severe thunderstorm warning, destructive wind, 60 miles an hour, and this is for Holmes County as I glance back up here. Lauderdale County, 60 mile an hour radar indicated with hail, 1-inch size. So we're showing winds of 60 in these storms that are moving in, and this counts for Newton County and also for Lauderdale County with these winds that we're looking at here right on radar right now. Golf ball, let's see here. Cleveland, they're saying it was golf ball to tennis ball size. Hail reported around Cleveland, and we believe that we had some of our own pictures sent in on that one. Bolivar County reports of hail egg size, 2 inches. As I glance back up, LaFleur, I'm just seeing where we had damage around the state of Mississippi at this point. There's a lot of warnings that happened earlier. Claiborne County, which is going to be over by Port Gibson, the ruins of Windsor, that area, a lot of trees down reported in that area. Humphreys County, they've got a lot of tree damage as well. Pea-size hail in Brooklyn, Mississippi, as we glance there also. Nothing else new on there. All right, let's go back and look at some of our comments that we're getting on the local side. All right, let's see here. Sugarlock at this point, A-OK, nothing happening in Noxubee County. A question about that Peggy wanted to know. Detroit, good evening. Power is restored on 495. Peyton, that's good news. Let's wait till midnight. This thing is a little after midnight, this watch that we've got going on, but we're guessing somewhere around midnight. Temperatures are dropping, Terry says, as we glance at our high winds, Highway 496, flickering in the house community. Sugarlock is good, Peggy. Ruby, good to see you joining us there. Pouring rain in Union, April tells us. Nellyburg is dark, wind is strong. Pretty fast-moving storm to a degree as it is. Tumsuba, Katrina, you're going to get some storms there. Let me turn this off where it's a better view when we're backed out like that. That's what's happening here as I glance at the power is out for Club Fitness on Poplar Springs. Tumsuba 496, no power there. Marion still getting hit hard. Had hail in Neshoba County and heavy rain, but clearing out now, Barbara said. Loud thunder there in Edinburgh. Salute to y'all there, Thomas. Russell community, kind of bad there, Melanie says. Rain slacked up in Union. We're here and there. Trying to keep up with all the comments. I don't want to leave anything off. Jeff Cleveland talking about power there. Poplar Springs Drive subdivision. No power, Steve says. Power is out in North Hills. Mississippi Power sent a text saying they will be restored by 10:30. Well, that's good news. We hope they can do that. As Nancy said, yeah, we needed the rain. But, boy, it's taking it a little bit to the extreme as we look at all of this. Heavy storms in Alabama as we glance there as well this evening. On the Mississippi side, we showed that out here in Yazoo. We still got these storms developing. We got a lot up here in Indianola all of this will make its way toward the Meridian area. All right, Newton County, we're starting to show some more hail here. So if you've got a car that's sitting outside, let's pay attention around Decatur. As we look at this, let's talk about the areas that it's going to be affecting. As you can clearly see, this is going to be making its way toward Lauderdale County, and it's going to be in the area of Meehan once it crosses there. Now, this will be north of here, and this will go through right through the Chunky area. A lot of rural route through here. If you live in this eastern side of Newton County, north of I-20, I'll be ready for hail as it comes across here and makes its way to Lauderdale County. Heading basically for the split is where that is heading, and once it comes into Lauderdale County through the Lost Gap area. So plan ahead with these things before it bothers you. Dollar General up here, making sure we have the most up-to-date updated there. We've had a tree down near Little Rock. And if you know of trees down damage, let us know there. We nothing that is tornadic at this point. Everything is severe thunderstorm warnings. We have had some sheer winds, but no tornadic activity. As we get in, we are showing some moderate rain downtown Collinsville, on that south end of the lake. Here at the Sicalina Volunteer Fire Department, we got a lot of rain there also. Now, as we move into the downtown area, as we come across State Boulevard Extension and follow up North Hill Street, right there, Northwest Baptist Church, a lot of rain there. This will follow it all the way down through 22nd Avenue past the hospitals, Meridian High, as you follow this on out North Hill Street here to Marion, all the way to 45, heavy rains. Here's Sam's. Let's go right here and just follow right where this is. This is sitting right at Jimmy Rogers Parkway, right there at the bridge, the on-ramp. If you were coming from the Mississippi Highway Patrol, wanting to come into Meridian, right there sits this storm. It's going to be in Vinville within 13 minutes. I think most of us know where that is. Right out here is the Highway Patrol office as you would come to get on I-20 from there. Jimmy Rogers Parkway. Calvary Hill Church, a lot of rain there as well as it crosses here on 45 and where 19 goes under the underpass as you make your way toward the Vinville area. And look how this storm is doing this, leaving Jimmy Rogers Parkway. It will follow Highway 19, basically a straight line all the way to Why Not Motorsports Park. 30 minutes, it will be sitting at your front door, Rodney. Now, this southwest corner of Lauderdale County, you're still good. Not only any rain happening there, but that won't stay that way. That's going to get wet before long. We have storms that are coming out here. This is going to be Rosebud is where this is, a Rosebud quick stop. As we're coming out of Leak, Carthage area, more coming in, pouring rain at the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. Now, again, y'all don't have a warning there. Wait to pick on Decatur. Downtown Decatur there at the college, a lot of rain. It gets a little bit better as you go up Highway 15 as you almost make it into Union. It's slacked off there, and it's going to be east of Union as you head toward Little Rock and those areas. And even out here to the Duffy Volunteer Fire Department. Heavy rain there if you're going to be anywhere there following that 494. Freeman Tractor getting their share of rain. Now, as we look here, Rainbow Lakes pouring there as well. Some of the heavier rain that we've got sitting right on top of 2059. Lamar School, and this makes it doesn't quite reach the Evangel Temple. Here's the Evangel Temple. Here's 22nd Avenue exit. You'll have to go past the 3-foot building before this picks up with rain. As you go past, here's the overpass right here in the Meridian. You'll be sitting right here. Here's the Max right there. 3-foot building is going to be sitting roughly right there. North of there, past the post office, when you get up here to 14th Street at the stop sign, north of there, look at that, north of the hospitals where that rain picks up. The big picture of what's happening. We come across, we watch this out by Sam's, a lot of rain in those areas. All right. All the way out here, I can hear, let's see, Lakeview Golf Course, a lot of rain there. Now, we're going to be following these storms. Let's turn this off again so you can see the big picture of what's going on tonight. I don't know if y'all hear Ellie, but she's decided to come to the studio to visit with us. She's right outside the door. She's wanting in bad. You just going to make that poor little girl mad sitting there outside.
Are you still on?
Yeah, we're still live.
Did you see that hail?
Yeah, we've got, no, I did.
From Texas.
Oh, yes, we talked about it. I didn't show it on screen. Did you put that on for us so we could look at it? Is it on there on the page?
No, I didn't put it on there. It's a comment.
Come over here
Under
and,
a picture that I put.
okay, somebody put a picture about that. And it was 5-inch size hail from Texas today. That was humongous, the biggest
I
believe that was 5. It could have been bigger. Tree down on Irby Road, we're being told. Well, everybody's saying hello to Ellie, and Ellie didn't quite get in. She's standing outside the glass door staring at everybody. We'll let her in here in a minute so she can join us. Again, our thunderstorm warnings will remain in effect until 9:30. Hey, little girl, she's here now. We got a lot of company up in here. Ooh. As we'll show you there, we've got a nosy little girl. She had to come in to see what was going on. So she's happy now. So everybody will know that. I'm sure that each of y'all have got something similar to this that follows y'all around and she just can't stand it. She got to be where you are, especially if you've got French fries. She's my French fry girl. Now, back to the weather, getting back on the serious notes of what we've got. I am seeing this starting to break up a little bit. Are we going to have more? Yes. This goes until 9:30. Still an hour remaining on this. As we follow this through here with more storms back and back, this is what it just keeps kind of coming. Look at this here. Right there. Critical. Shear winds of 81 miles an hour. That's right there. Portable hail. 40th Street slacking off a little bit. Power out on Homestead Road. Thank you, Darlene. We appreciate you doing that, telling us about that. That's portable?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of it. Did somebody send that in to us?
Yes.
Well, can you put that below us so we can?
It's on the page.
It is on ours? Okay. Good. I wanted everybody to see that. Let me go here and pull this up. Let me pull the page up where you can see that. Let me X this out and refresh here. It's good to know what's happening in other areas where you are. Here we go. This is Portable, Mississippi, and we appreciate you, Jessica Brown, sending that. Look how big that is. Wow. Now, again, that does major damage to any vehicle that you have. Thank you so much for looking. Look at that in the yard, how much came down. As we see here, this was Highway 19. Lee, thank you.
Small hail and wind just outside of Decatur towards Little Rock.
Ooh, Decatur, in those areas. And this was going to be Highway 493. Get you a good look at that as that storm came across. That is that picture that you were talking about right there with the hail from Texas here. And let's pull that. That's East Texas. Yeah, that's bigger than 5 inches, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know how to measure real good. I don't have Odie here with me tonight. He's my expert measurer. But that's big.
That was
That was a lot of that. Thank you, Kay. We appreciate that. Let me see what else you got loaded. Oh, that's what we look like live. Let's go back the other way. As we add pictures and things that are going on this afternoon, we do appreciate y'all sending those in. And we will get that added as quickly as we can as we get them in. Back to radar we go. Kemper County, you're looking better. It looks real good there. As we look to what's coming out of Lauderdale County, let me look here. Let's talk about you Alabama folks there. I don't want to leave any of y'all out. We got a lot as we look at this severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be until 8:45. That's 4 minutes remaining on that. But look at the winds that y'all got. Hail. It's 70. There's Lisbon, Alabama is where that is, and you're still clocking at 58 on that one. So a lot of wind, a lot of rain in there. This is Alabama 10, which 19 turns into 10. And this would, if you take this left toward Yantley, that'd get you on over here if you're going to work at the paper mill. those areas there. Now, back in Lauderdale County, as we see here, we're starting to break up here downtown Meridian. That looks better. Right here on 19 at the split of 496, 19 and 496. Heavy, heavy rain. And that's going to go out. Let's look here what we got. All this road around Fairview Church over to Pleasant Grove Cemetery. That's thick, thick, thick rain. As you move back here, look at this here where Chick-fil-A is. If you're sitting in Chick-fil-A line, it's starting to get a little better. I hope the ladies have walked inside. They're not having to take the orders outside at this point. They do have a good canopy there, though. Helps with all that heat during the summer. But as you get past this, and Bonita Lakes up here at the mall, here's where that is. And by the time you get here where Crestwood Elementary is, the rain slacks off when you get there. Nelson Hall Chevrolet. Back up to where the Sefco is on top of the hill. Not raining there in 22nd Avenue, 145, headed to the Evangel Temple. It gets a whole lot better. Areas breaking up. That's good news. That's that wind there. Now, we still got this hail that is coming out of Decatur. And we got some wind that is picking up here. Chunky, y'all be ready. 16 minutes. You'll have this hail at your front door in Lost Gap within 28 minutes. Let's zoom in on this. Here's that hailstorm. That's sitting right at Lebanon Church. There's Roman Hill Church here, and this is going to be McKee Road. Right there's that hail. What do we got here across the pine tree? 70-mile-an-hour sheer winds. And if you're just watching me for the first time, you've never been a part of our weather and what we do with these sheer winds. This doesn't mean that it's on the ground. It is in the air. At any given moment, that can come down. It can be above ground, snap trees to that. It's not like a tornado. It does do damage, as we saw down at Garrett's today. Messed the roof up 8th Street Meridian. Tore that up, his roof. Thank goodness that's all they got him. That's what this stuff can do here. With our power outages, these are our main culprits that do this to everybody. Decatur, east of you, look at that heavy rain. It's headed toward Chunky in that direction. It's coming out of Decatur, headed toward Chunky. Here's the line. If y'all look here, it sits right here, and it's a straight line of hail in that direction of Chunky. And as you'll see, Chunky, all this area under a thunderstorm warning, although y'all have not seen the rain yet, it's coming your way. Now let's look back to our west. We got folks watching from the Jackson area, Ridgeland area, all calm in the Jackson area right now. Y'all are still under this severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. All of this pink, if you're looking here going, explain the colors. Let's back out. State of Mississippi, that is a severe thunderstorm watch until the stroke of midnight tonight. Hopefully, as we look at radar, as all of this built, this is the last, we hope, nothing else builds behind this. This is the storms that will make its way here in the next little bit. As we mentioned, it's going on 9 o'clock, and we were talking areas getting it by 10 o'clock. And this is that storm that will do that. Walnut Grove over here by the prison, as we'll see there. We have a flood warning there around Walnut Grove, Mississippi. That's going to be due south of Carthage. Goodman, Mississippi. Y'all have a severe thunderstorm warning. Downtown Philadelphia looks great. Downtown DeKalb, Scuba looks great there across the campus. As we look over here, just tons of thunderstorm warnings in Alabama. No changing on that, and I'm just making sure. Let's do this. Let's turn radar off a moment. This is what it looks like otherwise. Each square box, each one of these gold boxes is a thunderstorm warning, as we'll see here in Mississippi, back over here by Cleveland. And you see how this, as you can see, it comes across right through there. Headed in that direction. Nothing else happening in the state right now. We don't have anywhere any tornado warnings in either Mississippi, Louisiana, or Alabama. Thank heavens. And let's turn back on radar where you can see again. Old Selma. Thunderstorms knocking on y'all's door if you're watching from that area of Alabama. All right, let's follow 19 out. Let's talk a little bit about 19. southeast, sitting right there, is where this is. This is Southeast High School. That's the fireworks stand, all of that area right there. Pouring rain, Vinville, up to Camp Bonacci there at the Boy Scouts. Now, here sits Rodney. This is the front edge of the storm as it's coming across. Y'all see this lightning behind there. It's going to be at Hurricane Creek within 11 minutes and then reach Yantly roughly in about 16 minutes and then push Mataha, Alabama by 21 minutes later as you back out to look at that line of how that's doing. That's where it's going, push Mataha in those areas there. It's going to come across the racetracks there and bring in some rain. Let's check these lightning strikes. We're sitting right now, the time on the clock says 8:47. We had a lightning strike that just struck right there. It struck there, and we had, if you're there, and that was a minute before. This struck 60 seconds ago, not far from the racetrack. Y'all should have been able to hear that in that area if you're out in Wynot tonight as that lightning pops. As we move up, let's look at the rest of the county here. Lauderdale, y'all are looking good. Things have calmed down over the lake. Dalewood is looking better. The northwest corner of Newton County, good for the moment. Y'all got more storms coming now. It's going to be coming, just barely clipping Neshoba County and on into Newton County. This is the worst of the rain that we've got here east of Decatur. Chunky, it has reached it. This is that storm that was bringing it there to Chunky. Right through there, all of that. Let's turn on our hail feature once again. Yeah, y'all see that, don't you? That's what we've got coming through there. Decatur.
You were so appreciative for this. We need this on YouTube. Tell them you are.
Oh, yeah, we are on YouTube. Somebody had made the comment that appreciate Kathy. Yeah, we are on YouTube. Just look up Scotty Ray Report, YouTube, and you'll be able to pull us up on there. We're live there. Numerous ways to join us. If sometimes, and this just different platforms work different. Sometimes Facebook will throw a fit. Follow us also there on YouTube, Scotty Ray Report. We're also on, Twitter. We're on Twitter, or you can go to our webpage, ScottyRayReport.com. We have a radar on there also. It sort of, so to speak, hooks up to the YouTube video. So it all kind of works together, ScottyRayReport.com. Just Scotty Ray Report is the way you find us anywhere that you're watching. When things get worse, we do go live on television when it reaches a certain criteria with the TV station. We'll go live there. We don't always interrupt everything that they're doing for it. Look at this. Look at all this purple. If you're just now tuning in, the purple represents that is hail in some point. Look at the part that went through DeKalb and went across Mama Chick's house there in Porterville. Boy, she caught it. All right, come on back up here, girl. This is... you can't do that now. She's trying to control the computers now. Bless her heart.
They say all your internet tabs at the top of the screen on YouTube.
Yeah, it's there. I switched. We switched computers yesterday, and every time you do that, it acts up. It takes about a week before you get everything kind of worked out the way it should look. So. All right, speaking of that, let me hit some buttons here, and let's pull up all of our different power companies. I got a few of them if you were looking at those tabs up there at the top of what I had going on there, the different ones. Let's see here. I want to pull up. Oh, that's Ryan Brown critiquing. Ryan Brown.
He's not up here helping.
Yeah, I noticed he's not here. Y'all don't give up on me here. I'm trying to find my... Okay, that's that. My wind radar, but I wanted... Okay, Mississippi Power, Southern Pine, and Central Electric is what we need to look at. And for kicks, we'll go ahead and pull up 4 County Electric also of the different power companies that we have. That
Former blow just between Stonewall and Enterprise, so they're without power.
Enterprise?
Between Stonewall and Enterprise.
Okay, Stonewall and Enterprise without power now. As we pull this up, here's what we're looking at. This is Mississippi Power. We've got about roughly 3,100 people without power on Mississippi Power as we pull this up and glance on this. Right there. Look at that power there. That's the Meridian area taking a huge hit with Mississippi Power. Now let's come on across here. This is going to be Southern Pine Electric. And that's a lot of outages as we see this. And I want to say you used to could show it here. Base map. Okay. Outages as we look at that 1,200. That's the list there of what we've got going on. That's a lot of power that they're working to restore. As you zoom in on this a little bit, here's forest. I know it's hard to read. That's just like little numbers everywhere. Right here is Morton, Mississippi. This is forest. As we get into Newton County, Union, 33 people just south of there without power. Decatur, as we'll see there, 28. This is real close over here to the sheriff's station. That area right there, power out all around there. I'm sure they got some backup generators. As we get into Hickory, we've got power outages there, 1610. Look at these big fields here, 61 due south of 80. And as we get into the rural route, this is where it takes time to get your power back. This here's the rural route is what we're looking at. That's going to take some time for these guys to get in there down these roads. As we join here, this is going to be, let me zoom in on here. This is... Yeah, Central Electric is what we've got here. Now, power outages a good bit there as well. Sebastopol, about 90 people without power. As we get into the Union area, 112 there. We follow this on 492. Power outages all down through. Look at the 220 there at Sebastopol, 130. Again, I use that rural route. And just as we said we would check 4 County, which is going to be in the north end of here of our friends that are up in these areas here, Columbia, Starkville area, one at Starkville. And the further you get up near Columbus, we got power outages there also. Randy Rigdon and those folks that are watching in this area up here, there are power outages. Y'all had a lot of hail there also there as we look at that. And let's go back to radar. Let's turn back off the hail so we can get rid of these pretty pictures. Purple is heavy, heavy, heavy rain is what that is. Now, when you, in these colors, how this works is when you go from red to purple, purple being worse. If you ever see black, it's time to head for the hills. Just to put it in layman's terms, it's bad when it's like that. Raining hard in Clarkdale right now, Shireen says. Thank you. We have these severe thunderstorm warnings that are still in effect until 9:30. A lot of wind still occurring here. Stonewall. And again, this is going to be north of... zoom in a little bit closer here. Here's Cooper's Chapel. Right there. If you're camping this weekend at Clarko and you're sitting there in your camper and it's rocking and rolling right now, yeah, pretty serious there. And this is going to be making its way to Sykes within 11 minutes. Manassas, you'll get the storm in 11. And Crandall within 27 minutes. And then on to Theedville within 3 minutes after that. You'll get that within about a 30-minute period. Now, as we get right here at Clarkdale, at the high school, that rain picks up heavy. We've got a lot of rain that's coming down here. Causeyville over at the ball field. Look at that rain. All out Wynot area. This is moving toward Yantley, Alabama. It's directly from the racetrack toward Yantley. As we zoom up, and again, this is not in the severe thunderstorm warned area. Now, as we look at Newton County, now Newton back over here around Decatur, it's gotten better. It looks a whole lot better there at Turkey Creek also, just east of Lazy Boy. Still moderate rain as you come up on the Veteran Cemetery, as you get in to where Hickory Pickin is. The rain is picks up there. But by the time you get over here about Hickory, right there, Here's downtown Hickory. About a half a mile outside of town, it gets thicker. Look at this is what we've got coming out of here. Up here by Lazy Acres, Chunky Duffy Road, and those areas there. This storm is going to be at New Providence within 6 minutes, make Meehan within 18 minutes, and then reach Lost Gap right here at the prison and the truck stops within 30 minutes. A lot of hail has been picked up in here, so we expect this to move across, and then it'll make its way right on over toward the airport. Now, we just had another storm pop up. This is going to be cutting across right here at Goodwater Baptist Church and headed toward Plant Sweat on Valley Road, where that comes across there. Look at that rain. Stuckey's Bridge, we got a lot there. Not as bad down here at Dunn's Fall. Greg's Firework has like a half a minute of no rain. It'll come back, my friend. The airport, a lot of rain there. Let me turn this one off. Still under the severe thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale. As you see your lines there, this gold line, if you're watching this from home and staring at it on your phone, these gold lines are what indicate where your warned area is. Now, as we come up here, this follows right across where the Girl Scouts is, crosses 19. Downtown, if you're Highland Park area, pretty moderate rain there back over to Meridian High School, up to the four-way stop there at North Hills, Poplar Springs Drive. After you get past the old bowling alley, past the church and the curve down here where King Road, it lightens up for a moment there as you head out 19, as you leave Walmart and you get up here about where the Rock House is, and then get past the back porch. Rain gets worse, and that where you split there where the fire department is, Cicalina. Woo! Heavy rain. Gets better at the four-way stop there. That's where the end of it is there at the Pig. Everybody get all of that? Lightning strikes galore. We've got a storm that's moving out of Lauderdale County that's going to move into northern Clark County and should be at Roy within 20 minutes, and then Sable about the same time, and then reach DeVoe at about 22 minutes is what we're looking at to join there. Did I just hear a frog somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. It's bad when the frogs are wanting more rain. We've had this much. That was loud. I didn't think I could hear it in the second story, but I did. More rain in Neshoba County. Let's look at what we've got here, the Dixon community. Here's in the Neshoba County Fairgrounds as we move back into Carthage. Edinburgh, y'all look pretty good at this moment. We've got a lot of rain crossing 25. As we look at Louisville, y'all been pretty quiet. You have. Here's Mr. Nasty over here that I figure will be these two here will be the last storms coming out of Sunflower that will make its way. And it's a direct move toward us as we glance at all this. Let's turn this off. Alabama, as we see a lot of times as this builds and crosses that state line. Look at the intensity of how that got worse there. Butler, Alabama. Y'all are catching it right now at the courthouse. There's winds, sheer winds all around there, south of there as we're picking up. Let's look at this. That's Morgan Chapel, Alabama is where that is located. That's 70-mile-an-hour sheer winds. And let's see here. Above Toxie, we got 58. Another storm there toting 58 also. But that's a lot of activity around Butler, Alabama. And as you moved east toward Pine Hill, Thomaston, Alabama, Linden, Alabama, up to Demopolis, looking better there at the river. That's not bad at all. Now, if we track this just right, let's do a hard reboot here and make sure that we've got the absolute latest that radar has to offer in a timely manner. Turn off that. This expires at 9:30. Do I think we'll probably get another one after that? I sure do. I feel like that will come right along there. Let's see here. As we look up some of the comments that we're getting. Donna, thank you for watching. Sugarlock, not much going on in Sugarlock. We're good for Sugarlock for now. Wolf Springs getting a lot of rain. Erica Kilgore, how you doing there? Newton? North of Newton, we got some showers, and we do have some back over here near Lawrence. Nothing horrible. It's moderate rain there.
Brian said there's a warning for Jasper Clark thunderstorm.
He said what now?
There's, I guess, a new warning for
Well,
Jasper.
well, actually, what this says, it's we've got a strong thunderstorm that's going to impact portions of eastern Jasper and Clark County through about 9:45. Is what the National Weather Service tells us, and that's not a warning just yet. We watch it closely, and what that's talking about right through here. This is going to be moving due south there, making its way there. Let me go back. Make y'all look at me for just a second. All right, some guesstimations. Let me make some guesstimations here. We're still showing 9 o'clock. We got the heavy rain here. We got a little bit of a break there at 10 o'clock. Downtown Meridian will have some showers there. As we go at 10:15 Jasper County, you're going to be getting a lot of rain. And then Clark County, Wayne County, as you get out of that 10 o'clock range, Wayne County coming out of southern there at 10:30, it's going to be a lot of rain in the Laurel, Jones County area. And then as we move this forward, Philadelphia, you're going to get, as we come out of Winston County, somewhere around 11:30, you're going to have another big storm moving into the northern portion of Noxubee County and then making its way across Kemper. And then that will pretty much wrap it up for the night. As we look at this, as the worst I see at this point on the Mississippi side being somewhere around 12:40, 12:45. So it looks as though the 1 a.m. area should be clearing up for us. And then all of that will be moving toward Mobile, Alabama, and following that coastline. If you're watching down there with Coast and that on the coastline tonight, that's what we expect. Butler, Alabama, buckle up. Look at this as we pull that back up. That's a lot of wind. Now, we got something just popped up here we want to look at. Whenever we get this, this is reached a new level. Now, this is not a tornado warning. It's just saying that this has more of a potential to turn into a tornado than anything else going on. And we look at that, and that scale, now that's some winds. That is 92-mile-an-hour shear winds that is coming out of this. If we rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, this is right at a 5. It does have the potential to twist and turn into a tornado right there. It is not at this point. I don't want to scare anybody or make you scared, but if you live in this area around Highway 17, all of this area east of here, here's Butler, Alabama. You follow this out and split to 17, right out here on the rural route, we want y'all to be getting to your safe places. That's going to be Gibson Road. I had to zoom in just a little bit better to catch that one. As we look at this Ariat Road over by Bush Cemetery, these areas right around the Butler, Alabama area. If you're from there, here's the river. We're picking up 58 there, but that's Mr. Nasty, as we're going to name him tonight. You can bet your bottom dollar power being lost in that area. Here's Toxie, Alabama, to the northeast of there, south of Butler. Worst that we've got on radar at all tonight. Chunky, Mississippi. We got anybody watching from Chunky tonight? It's hard and it's raining from there. We've got 25 minutes remaining on this. Look at that. All right. Savoy, 8 minutes, you'll have a storm. Stinson, 22. And then Wolf Springs, Pleasant Hill, and the zero area will get that in a 30-minute time frame. Right there at the end of that little shaded area is 30 minutes from where it is sitting right now. Let's see here. Let's turn this off and where you can see a little bit more about what we got for the county. Let's turn on our locations. Here's Greg's Fireworks. The Dollar General sits right there as we follow this. This is the Evangel Temple. As you can see as you get into town, it's a little bit lighter. It's all south of town from the Dollar General all the way to Clarkdale, to the high school there. It's heavy rain. If you're at the split, this is dangerous. Very, very dangerous tonight. We don't... I haven't been able to keep up with how many wrecks and things that have been going on, but I'm sure that we're having them. This is just too much rain and people still traveling for us not to have some troubles there. Watching from Lost Gap area, we do appreciate that. LaWanda said my frogs are getting loud. I agree with you. Heavy rain over all of the county as we see it even out to the Denzel, Washington. Where did that come from? The carousel. Boy, I tell you, the tighter I get, the more I mispronounce names and places there. Highland Park. Let's go ahead and call it what it really is. All the way here at MCC. We come in the south part of Meridian, Lauderdale County. It is bad right now. If you live anywhere south of I-20, be prepared. If you are on I-20 tonight, if you can wait this out a little while, don't travel that road. Hang on. Go to Walmart for a little while. As we'll see here as we follow this, this is Valley Road, this entire area here from Meridian. Look how much rain we've got there. Here's Clarkdale High School. Here's 145, these areas. And this is Highway 45. Dunn's Falls sits here. All of this rural route area. And lightning, one strike after another. Let's see. Your frog was saying, help me. He's getting flooded out there. Maybe that's what he was talking about. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. We try to give it all we've got each time a storm comes by. It's nothing worse than sitting at home and knowing that it's bad outside, not knowing where it is in relation to where you live. I don't like that, so we try to stay on it for you. All right, Mathis Peaches. Y'all got a storm right there just east of there. This will put it up here where the old Progressive Pipeline building is where that storm is sitting right there at the gate. That's going to be moving across to Energy within 22 minutes as we come back up here to Highway 11. Our deputies are working hard there in Clark County. Middleton, you'll have this storm within 29 minutes. Now, Newton looks a lot better. Newton County does. Let's just look at that. If what we've got is moving out of the county, you do have more coming in. All around Union, south of U Highway 15. Back right over here at Sebastopol is where we've got a lot there, where the hardware store is. On around where the post office is, a lot of rain there. That's going to make its way on there. And again, we're not over. I don't want anybody, when this expires at 9:30, we're going to have some more rain. I don't want you to think it's over. We'll monitor it and come back when it does get a little bit worse. When a warning is issued, we'll be here for you. Alabama, that's just horrendous over there. We'll go back in a second and look at that. As we dive back into Lauderdale County, let's look at this. I mean, I think this is, we need to talk about this first. This is Clark County. Now, let's get in here. This is going to be south of Clarko State Park. We got some shear winds just to the east of, that's clocking at 70 miles an hour if you're in Clark County. Let's look at the road here. Here's 18. Let's give you a road here where this is sitting. That's going to be County Road 142 is what this is, right off of 45. This is 18. It's due north of there, in between there and Clarko State Park. A lot of heavy wind. If you live in that area, seek your little shelter now. There's no warnings for y'all, but if you've got trees and you live in this area, better to be safe than sorry on any of this as we look at this rain coming across your county at this point. Downtown Quitman, you look great. Not bad at all. Let's move back up and follow this. A lot of storms, as you'll see here, that are moving from the west side into Clark County. Can something fire off in a minute and give y'all a warning? It sure could. Hadn't done it yet, but we're watching. Let's see. What is this? Madison County. They're saying pair of storms moving toward. If you're watching us from Madison County, Mississippi, y'all get ready for this. They're saying that baseball-size hail is in the works for Madison County, Mississippi. Madison, Yazoo, destructive winds 60 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for that. Let's see here. That's old news there. Nothing else has changed on that. So Madison is what we're looking at back over there. Whew. These are still cutting up. This area here, you see that hail there? That's what the National Weather Service is talking about. That's baseball-size hail coming with this. Don't go outside. Pamela, how are you doing? You're right. If I'm not live, it's not as bad as it could be. We always go live when it's a threat to you. We go live to give it to you. Now, all areas of the state watch us, and throughout all of this, and again, I want y'all to be majorly watching here. This Madison area is, anytime somebody brings up baseball-sized hail, seek shelter in those areas also. Still no tornado warnings at all at this point. That's good news. We still got this sheer wind here in Clark County that is bad. Southern Lauderdale County getting dumped on. We finally have not much rain above Marion. We have some light stuff that'll go out toward the Cotton Gin as we watch that also, but nothing heavier toward the Kemper County line at this point. Hickory, we got a storm coming up on Hickory right now. Let's talk about Newton County for a moment. And as you can see, everything that is going on now has Clark County in its mind, and then Alabama in its mind. As we talked about Clark County getting it later on, this is what is coming. All of this is focusing toward Clark. It'll clip Lauderdale, but headed in this direction. Enterprise, y'all are getting a bad end of this deal. Let's look at Hickory here. Hickory storm will cross into Lauderdale County, as we'll see this. Turn back on these locations where it's a little bit more familiar for everybody. Sitting right here at the Dollar General in Hickory, this is headed directly towards Stuckey's Bridge. As we look at Highway 15 due south of Quitman, let me back up and say Newton. I don't know where that come from. I had it in my head. This is going to go toward Mount Vernon within 12 minutes and reach New Fellowship right here. This is New Fellowship. It's going to reach that in Jasper County by 9:38. All right, Jasper County, we got your first little shear winds coming into the county up here on Highway 15. Rose Hill, you got some storms that are going to be coming from 15 directly toward you. Now we're picking up 58-mile-an-hour shear winds on this in the western side of Jasper County. Here's Montrose. We follow this up just across that Newton County line. That's going to be County Road 25 and County Road 24. And that is County Road 248 is exactly where that is sitting in Jasper County. Some winds, getting your little safe place there around that. No warnings, doesn't matter. Clark County, as we get close to this, as you'll see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 on the way for Clark County, and already 3 storms that are passing through Clark presently with sheer winds out here near Manassas. Sheer winds of about 58. And then as you're following this, our Alabama, I feel for y'all, Gilbertown, Alabama, all of this area here, it's just wind, and wind. 68. As we glance back over some of these wind speeds of what's going on over there, the worst we've seen is about 58. Nothing more heavier than that at this point. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's glance. Stuckey's. Whew. A lot of rain coming in there from that Dollar General side. We're on the west side of Highway 15. It looks pretty good here out of Newton County. There we go. Right there, Dollar General coming in that direction into Lauderdale County, and then that will head toward Clarkdale directly out of Hickory. Y'all see that, don't you? Now, Highway 19 finally seeing a break right at the moment here in the Lauderdale County area and the Collinsville area break there. Everything's going to be on this from MCC southward on the west side, and then we pick up at Marion and go due south on this. Why not? A little break there at this point. It's this west-southwestern portion of Lauderdale County that is taking the brunt for everybody, so to speak. Now, if I am not mistaken, they have let this expire. Let's double check ourselves. They have. For the first time in I don't know how long, several hours, they cut that off 15 minutes early, so we don't have any thunderstorm warnings right now. They just canceled that. Newton canceled. Let's see. Belzonia is what they're back up here in that bigger storm that we've been watching up in here. This is what the National Weather Service is calling the nasty of all nasty right now, with this baseball-sized hail, wind-blown large hail. Big concern with that one right now is what keeps getting put up in our notes on all of these storms. So at this point, we've got a bunch of rain. They're taking the threat, as you'll see here, is the colors. You see that kind of winding down. These are our fronts that we're watching. We do have this that concerns me here at 58 miles an hour in Clark County. Let's look where that is. This is Highway 511 is where this is. It's going to be just due north of there. Here's 511, and if you follow that due north on the rural route, this County Road 660 is where this is in Clark County, north of 511. Sheer winds in that area. Equipment not raining. It's dewy, light rain. Let me back up. I don't want to tell a fib there. But we do have thunderstorms that are making their way across the county. No warnings at this point. We're going to go back over some outages real quick. Let's go back here and let me get my pages pulled up so we can talk about this. I wanted to do this. Let's talk wind gust a second. I haven't shown that tonight. Here we go, right there. Let's look at what we got here. In the Meridian area, we're roughly 17 gusts as we go south of Meridian. That picks up a little bit, 19, 21 as we move Enterprise. Y'all are getting 14 as we go on this east side. See here, Noxubee, y'all got a lot more wind now of gusting. That is running at about 29, 30 miles an hour right at the state line as we go in here. We even get some 38. Let me zoom in on that a little bit more. Right there. That's going to be 496 where we're picking up. That's where the most of the wind is in Lauderdale County now. The 496 area as we go north of here and we follow 45 up to Scuba. We're showing there at Scuba 31 mile an hour gust as you go through Giles, right at the state line, 30. Up to Sugarlock, we're still holding at 29. Macon, Mississippi, 24. Let's come across and follow 14 over to Louisville. Holding steady at 20. We get to Louisville and we're at 20 miles an hour. We go due south of there, and Noxubee, y'all are sitting at 21. Philadelphia, a little bit calmer, 12 as we look at the gusts here. Pearl River, following it out, about 20 as we get near Carthage. 18 is what it'll officially be. Back over in Canton, Mississippi, 13 miles an hour. Clinton, Mississippi, that little wind going on there, about 26, 27 in those areas there. Kosciuszko, we didn't look at that. That's about 20. Stark Vegas is holding about 15. West Point, lighter at 11. Greenwood, when we get up here in the Mississippi Delta, we're showing those sheer gust. Grenada down to about 12 miles an hour. So that gives you a little bit of a thought of what we've got going on with that. Now, let's go look at our power outages of what we know. Let me refresh here on each of these. And let's pull this up where you can see this also. Here's what we've got. We're at 1,700 basically in the Lauderdale. That girl's hungry. It has to be what that is. She's got a big mouth for a little bitty pup. As we look at the Noxubee area, look at this. 740 people without power right there. Zero. We got about 60 as we get into near NAS Meridian. Roughly 500. We get out in the Collinsville area right out here. As we get toward Battlefield, 196. Chunky, 18. As we go northward here, about 51 people south of DeKalb, just east of Highway 39 through the rural route here in between Highway 45 and Highway 39. A lot of power in there in the Moscow area. Moscow. All right, let's look statewide numbers of what we've got now. As we look at Kemper County, we're at 180. Noxubee still 0. 3,300 total. So we're looking at roughly 1,700 on the side of EMEPA. So that gives us another, 1,300 that will be without power on the Mississippi Power side. 3,300 people. As we look at Clark County, 105, Wayne County, 900. Back over to Jones County, 1,100. And we get into Jasper, about 2,400 of you are sitting in the dark now. As we get into Newton, 1,750, and Neshoba County, about 400, and Leake, 380. As we get into Scott County, a big number there, 4,200 people. As we look at Smith, about 1,500. And the further you go back over here, Rankin County, where that was over, 11,000 earlier, it's down to 77. Overall, we're at 91,000 now for the state. So power slowly getting restored for everyone, slowly but surely there. Adam said Scott County has been without power since about 5:30 this morning. Whew, that's bad. That's some major damage. That storm that we got this morning was bad. What did we get?
Village Apartments has been without power since 5 a.m.
Village Apartments in Meridian. Oh boy, since 5 a.m. And today is early was nice. Cool. We had a little breeze, but boy, the further it got into the day, that heat index kept rising. We were somewhere around 97, 98 in the afternoon hours there, and that's miserable. If y'all all remember back to that August when we went with power for 2 to 3 weeks, it was horrible there. These guys are really stepping and fetching tonight. Think of them. They're working hard, these linemen behind the scenes and around you. I'm sure that they're tired. They have not taken a rest today on all of this. Let's see, Southern Pine has a lot of power out. My brother is one of them. Tina, tell him we said thank you there. Daniel says it's chilled out. Brittany, looking back up here. Angela said I need to feed little Ellie. Ellie, I'll get her some food here in a minute. 9 o'clock is their time. If any of y'all got, I did give her some of my hamburger a while ago that I got. But 9 o'clock, and she's 20 minutes late is what she's upset about. Every night, she didn't get her treat. And if y'all all know, if you have a dog that is on a schedule, any movement in a house, they wait for that sound of, oh, I get my treat. And that's what's going on.
No.
Oh, well, you know they do. Oh, they start pacing.
At 8:30.
Oh, at 8:30, they start pacing the house, wanting it. It's something to live for every day as we look at that. Again, as we pull back up radar, let me show you this before we sign off for a little while. No warnings at this point. We have a lot of little thunderstorms going on. Gilberttown, Alabama, these areas here still getting sheer winds coming out of Clark County at 70 going in toward Gilberttown, Alabama. Just cross that state line. We're going to watch this. Y'all see this over here? There's no warnings with this, but these could turn into something more serious. As you scale of 1 to 10, this is where this gets a little bit scary. Let me zoom in on this and just show you what I'm talking about. When you get a storm on a scale of 1 to 10 and it reaches that 7, it is pretty close to where it could be on the ground. Is what we watch with this on this scale here. This one is sitting at a 7.1 also, and this one is a 7.1. So if you're watching us anywhere around Yazoo, south of Pickens, this area here, right around Canton, y'all need to take your cover now. I know there's no warnings that says that other than a thunderstorm warning, but this can quickly turn into something more serious. What kind of compliment did I get?
Somebody says Scotty Ray is the Jim Cantori of Mississippi.
Jim Cantori of Mississippi. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
That was Kristen Tucker that said
Kristen, thank you. I appreciate that. Horrible in Rose Hill, we're getting word there. Again, think of our friends over here around Canton, Mississippi, this area here. This is could turn into something a little bit uglier later as we watch that closely. Now, we'll be behind the scenes here. We'll go live should this jump back up and we start getting warnings again to walk you through this to make sure that you're as safe as we absolutely can be. We'll keep you up to date with the latest power situations. We'll speak with the MEPA and see what they have to tell us in our updates. Thank y'all so much for dropping by. We'll be in the background. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here to let you know when something comes up. Just check back and look for that live. If this is your first time, make sure to follow. When you hit the follow, you get the notification that says we're going live. Makes it a little bit easier for you, and you don't have to wonder what the weather's doing. But that's what our plans are. Betty, thank you. We appreciate you. Scott County does not have any warnings right now at the moment. That could change very soon, but we'll be here to let you know. We've got more on the way. Thank y'all so much for dropping by and spending part of your evening here with us at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: